Before we break for our lunch, we have one last Postmortem presentation on one of India's most talked about console and PC titles in recent years, Raji, an ancient epic. Post-launch and 36 international nominations with 10 award wins later, Raji received a comprehensive update. Learn what the development team, Nottinghead Games, has done to improve and enhance experience for their fans. Please put your hands together for the co-founder and game designer, Avichal Singh.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Avichal, and a co-founder at Nottinghead Games, and I did the game design on Raji, an ancient epic. And a quick question, how many of you already know about Raji or have heard about it? Okay, that's great, that's great. So for all those who haven't heard about Raji, Raji, an ancient epic, is a game set in ancient India where you play as Raji and her younger brother gets, kidnapped by the demons, and your quest is to rescue him, and you get blessed by the Indian gods. So it's a very Indian themed game. And, we made this game to put India on the game dev map. We are about to complete 7 years as a startup in January next year. And it's been a long journey, so, we'll quickly go through a small timeline of what happened and how did we form and all the achievements and the, all the things that didn't go well during this time. So I previously worked for Zynga and on Raji, game designer, project manager, and since it was a small team of 13 members who made this game, you do everything you can. So that's a clip of the team. Not everyone's here because this was taken during COVID, so we launched on October 15th, 2020, and that's her team. Ian and Shruti from the left, they are the co-founders with me. We have the lead programmer, Paras, and then the tall man next to him is Jale, tech artist, and then Himanshu, animator, and Deepam, a coder. So this is right after we launched on Steam, and we are dead tired, but it made up for the occasion to have a cake and some drinks. So the quick timeline here is 2017. Unofficially, we started in 2016 Q4, but 2017 is the official start of Raji. Nottinghead Games was incorporated, and we pooled our personal savings, all the three co-founders, to give ourselves a chance. And it was funds up to a year, and the plan was to make a demo and launch on Kickstarter. We launched on Kickstarter. We crunched through the last couple of months to have this demo as polished. And we were receiving a lot of, online appreciation of how polished the demo was. But since, as young game devs, we did not have any experience to do with how does marketing work, it kind of went ahead against us. And that led to, us canceling the Kickstarter, which was a big setback. But, we were not, someone who came that far to just give up. And Shruti, one of our co-founders, had to sell her apartment, and she funded the team for a few more months, which led to the Unreal Dev grant, which led us to a few more months again. And then that's when we secured a publishing deal with super.com. And that's when, we knew, hey, the future of at least, up to 2 years is secured to launch the game. And that's when all of these positive things were also happening. So we were at E3 2018. That's the first Indian game to be at E3. We were part of Microsoft's showreel. ID at Xbox selected Raji, and they took us possibly anywhere and everywhere possible. And we got Dev Play Awards in 2019. So the demo of the game, which was about to launch, was ready. And this made for 20 minutes of gameplay. So we started getting this kind of momentum. IndieDB Player Choice Award, which was a big deal, knowing like the community there is very strong. GDC, we revealed a new trailer. And, fast forward to 2020, among all the chaos of developing the game for Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, and PC at the same time, we grabbed, 2 awards at the Mix and Taipei Game Show. IGN, featured us. We got the first million views on one of our gameplay footages. And the big break was going with Nintendo Switch as a timed exclusive for 6 weeks. And this started the momentum towards a PC launch, which happened, as I said, on October 15th and 2020. And after this, it was followed by BAFTA, breakthrough for Shruti, Digit Award, Pegasus, SXSFW, the Game Awards nomination for debut indie title. And all of this has led to, to the point where we're now launching Raji with Netflix on mobile. So that's yet to come. And today we'll touch upon the enhanced edition, which just released this year, and how it helped Raji, and why did we make it, and why any dev should consider giving some kind of update, especially to a single-player game. Post-launch sentiment for Raji is, as it was received very positively by the players. I think people really appreciated new setting and, all this, boredom from probably the Western kind of games, or, we used to say there's too many games themed on Greek mythology, and it's time for us to step up. And actually that worked in our favor, and a lot of people loved what we presented. I'll just quickly play the trailer so everyone gets an idea what did we do in the enhanced edition, and if someone does not know about Raji, how does it look and feel, you'll get a good idea.
Raji was the only one with the power to stop him, but it was her only way to reach Golu. Shive sarvartha sadhike sharanye trimbake gauri narayani namostute sarvamangala mangalye shive sarvartha sadhike sharanye trimbake gauri narayani namostute. शायद राजी मरने वाली थी, शायद वो हार गई थी. As Raji drifted, a vision came to her. Who was that with her brother? What did he want?
Okay, so that's the trailer. So Raji launched, and of course, as game devs, we go through all the comments and all the reviews as much as possible. And we started checking, and there was a pattern of certain type of feedback being repeated. And someone was saying, we want Hindi voiceover. Someone was saying it's a bit too repetitive. Someone wanted to skip the tutorial. So, we went ahead and took all this feedback and arranged it, on an Excel sheet. It was a big one, where we gather, categorize all kinds of feedback. We organize them. Then we check how frequent is this feedback. And this was very manual work, but, it really helped us understand what do the players really want, and which features can we prioritize, and which features make sense to actually do it. Because it cannot be, that we work on this update for 2 years. As you know, it's I'm not sure everyone knows, but this was a free update. So we had to do it for the community. And there's a reason why we kept it free, because we thought every player deserves this free update. We are not trying to give you a new storyline. So that worked for us. And we revisited this process at every milestone during the development, because new feedback keeps coming through, and you have to reevaluate if what you're doing is correct. So the biggest changes people wanted, the Hindi voiceover. We could not do this on launch because first limited budget and time. Doing voiceovers, there is a perspective from the audience which sometimes they feel it's very easy, but it took us 8 months to get this right, to find the right voice actors, have a sample from each one of them, and go through the entire process of making sure the emotions are right, the pronunciations are right, and that took a very long time, and we provided the Indian languages as subtitles as well. Replayability options of story mode, and you play the entire game. People wanted to kind of revisit the game for art or for collecting the favor orbs, which was an achievement in the game. RTX and DLSS is something we worked with NVIDIA, and this was probably one of the obvious things for us because it was already tested by a tech artist somewhere near the release, and the game looked wonderful, so we thought, why not? Then, I have a point saying other hundreds of tiny fixes. These are bugs, these are UI improvements, these are UX improvements. These are all the small things that add up to a better experience. As I touched on Hindi voiceovers, the additional languages we added were Tamil, Bengali, Assamese, Kannada, Marathi, and Telugu. This was asked on Twitter, and we checked why these languages make sense. The Tamil language, there was even a hashtag on Twitter with over 1,000 replies with that hashtag. So that was amazing to see, and we were able to provide it, and we're glad we were able to do it. So I'll check on replayability. It's the same thing. Now the difficulty options is something again we couldn't provide since Raji, what you saw in the trailer, most of it was made for 2 years, and we're making it multi-platform. So, there has to be some kind of compromise towards what kind of features we give. So difficulty options were missed out, so we felt it was necessary to provide them to accommodate for every kind of player. NVIDIA has been supporting Raji since a very long time ago, and it was 2017 when they shipped us, some 1070 series cards, and that helped us, save budget because you're an indie with only a year's budget. So even something like small like that helps us a lot. Post Raji's release, we kind of tested both the technologies, RTX and DLS, and we were able to launch it post enhanced edition, and it was able to give us additional visibility, and this really helped us peak the launch because NVIDIA launched it is on their channel, and you have the Steam traffic, so all of it adds up to a better launch. I'll just play the DLSS trailer. Lovely. So we're a bit short on time, so I'll try to go a bit faster. It's a lot to pack up. Gameplay 2.0, a lot of complaints or feedback about gameplay, and we talked to our community on Discord. We even had a special channel dedicated to where players can act as, upfront feedback to us, and we were able to filter out what do they really want. A couple of boss fights were overhauled. We tightened a lot of VFX and SFX, and a lot of new animations were provided in AI, because if someone's replaying the game, we wanted to add value to them by, it's not just, hey, there's Hindi voiceover and RTX. There's probably more, and that's what helped them to, let's replay, and all of that helps you with the traffic on Steam. We have a video here which I'll just briefly run through, where we show some of the critical changes, where post-process feedback, something simple as this, you can see on the enhanced edition, it was far better of what the feedback we are trying to give to the player. So, yeah, we had AI variations, new abilities, and we had new combos for the AI. We had new abilities that made sense to add to the gameplay. And this was all, again, we talked to the community this entire time, and it made sense to add them. So I will proceed to the next slide. This is something you can experience when you play Raji. And you will find that anyone who's played the original version versus the enhanced edition will notice a very concrete change. So we gave a lot of new AI variations. These all helped us with the replayability part and also, keep it interesting for the players that are revisiting the game. Okay, so other features, I'll try to go quick. We gave camera zoom. We gave a menu with a lot of options. You can disable tutorials. A lot of SFX were improved. Bug fixes, a lot of other small fixes. All of this led to the launch and the big spike you see on Steam, PlayStation, and Nintendo. That's enhanced edition. And very positive player sentiment, and mainly because we did not ask players for the money, but you do see we did end up making a lot of good sales. These are the biggest sales of the entire year in 2022. And this has kind of put interest back in the community to come back, and there's a discount going on. And now they have a reason better than ever to play Raji. So I'll try, wrap up with what Raji achieved. 36 nomination, 10 wins. And we definitely, as developers, feel we did put India on the game dev map. And now, we are heading into the future, which will be very interesting. That's something we are all working towards right after the launch of the Raji on the mobile platforms, iOS and Android. And with that, to say thank you. And I'd like to thank Gamescom Asia for having me. I took a bit extra minutes there. Okay. Thank you.
Ooh, damn, that game looks amazing, and the questions are coming in already. What are some funding issues you faced while raising money for the game?
Yeah, so funding issues, all kinds of funding issues is what you'll face in India. Single player game coming from India, we had this working kind of against us. But that's why we try to raise the quality of the game. So funding issues, people might not understand in India, what kind of game are you trying to make, because mobile games are the trend. That's more easier for them to understand and get faster returns. Single player game, at the moment you say, hey, it's after 3 years or 4 years that you will see returns. That's one of the issues.
Nice. And now that Raji is on the NVIDIA GeForce cloud platform, do you see any improvements of sales as a result of that?
Yeah, so the biggest change or the benefit of going with NVIDIA was that, so when you launch something, you have to in parallel work with, can we build something together? So the Steam launch, the trailer launch on YouTube, and NVIDIA's trailers on YouTube, and NVIDIA giving us featuring on the GeForce Now platform, all helped us bring traffic to the game. So that helped with the sales, yes.
I was laughing at the next question, and I'm very curious too. Bruce Lee asked, thanks for the inspirational and epic development tale. Did Shruti manage to buy back her apartment?
So we are in the process of it. That's what I'll say. It's still under process. Yeah.
Well, that sort of leads to the next question is like, what was the deciding factor for releasing this as a free update instead of focusing on a new game? Did Shruti allow this while she didn't buy back her apartment yet? What was the decision making there?
So why we were able to give this as a free update is basically, and not work on a new game, I think it was too quick. We were all very worked up from the launch. We all wanted a breather. And I think this helped us, understand our own processes a little better. And the player feedback really was screaming at us to provide some of these as features. And when we started saying, hey, we're going to do RTX, we're going to do Hindi voiceover, And then we're like, so if, rest of the team, what do we do? And it's a small team, right? So we were like, okay, let's maybe work towards gameplay, and then the sound designer comes in, and you can improve SFX also, and all of that made us think, hey, it's time like the team does a postmortem, and we start working towards some of these shortcomings.
All right, and our last question. Since the government regulations are changing a lot in India for the gaming industry, how do you see its growth over the next 3 years?
So government regulations, they keep changing. You have to, honestly, as developers, if you pick on a certain type of game, once you check, you have to keep just going for it. I see the growth, especially in smaller teams, and I've been in touch with some of the indie devs back in India, and they all are making unique concepts. They're not too many, I would say, but that's a change I've seen since Raji was announced till now. In these 5-6 years, that a lot more devs have popped up, and we are seeing more creative concepts, sometimes Indian themed, and sometimes not. And we are also able to see, maybe if you visit IGDC, which is India's biggest event, you will see a lot of demos by the young folks, and I've been visiting that event since 2012. So I've seen the flow with the demos has gone bigger and bigger. So that gives more chances for growth to prosper in India. Yeah.
Love hearing that, opening up doors for other people. Thank you so much for that epic talk, Avichal. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.